So that's great. The global expansion, can it really work? Because a lot of people, the reason why Netflix stock is so high is because people think that that's possible. They could duplicate this all around the world, but I imagine that there's some complications with that.
Absolutely. I mean, Netflix is expanding quickly. In fact, by the end of 2014, it will be available in 9 European countries. That's on top, of course, of its operations here in the United States. But there are concerns that it could end up chasing its tail a little bit. Some of the programs, like House of Cards, that's the best-known program that Netflix puts out, won't have exclusivity. Some operators in Europe carry this kind of show already, and Netflix could have a few headaches if it tries to wrest back control of that exclusivity. Well, for more on this subject and the future of television, I spoke to Imani Cheers. She's Assistant Professor of Media and Public Affairs at George Washington University here in Washington, D.C. I began by asking her if changing viewing habits were dictating the kinds of programs being created.
People are paying attention to what Netflix is doing. When Netflix first premiered well over a decade ago, just as a DVD service, sort of the big deal was that it was a shock to places like Blockbuster. Because here we are now, like out of the comfort of your home, you could just receive a DVD in the mail and then, you know, return it simple. You didn't have to leave. But then when they got into the streaming game, and then they increased the odds and they started producing not only television series, but amazing television series. These industries right now, where you look at television, traditional television, and then you have your streaming television, that I don't think that it's not really making the moves that people think it is. Netflix is, they're ready, and I really believe with the industry, other people are taking notice, and they're actually increasing their creativity, their writers, they're pulling in big name actors and actresses who are really, really a power in the industry.
Do you think the business model then of these companies is impacting on the way these dramas and these programs are created in terms of the content, the duration and that kind of thing? Do you see distinct differences between, say, Netflix and HBO, for example?
Oh, wow. Well, I definitely believe that Netflix and HBO are really, really pushing the envelope in terms of their series. Game of Thrones, another one, great series that also was shut out of the Emmys actually recently, that was a real big surprise for everyone. But I think everything's moving in a generation and moving forward where people want content now. They want it now. And what I've seen is that traditional networks like the ABC, NBC, they're moving to their digital platforms. So you can go to abc.com and you can catch up on, while you're waiting, when Shonda Rhimes gives you that winter break, you can catch up on previous episodes. You can immediately, following the initial premiere of an episode, you can have already watch it again. You can fast forward and play things back. And I think that's really pushing things forward. And I know that all of these industry leaders are paying attention to Netflix and HBO, and it's either jump on board and try to learn from them and hopefully do something better or different, or unfortunately I think they're going to get left behind.
Tell me about the future of television. Are we saying that now there will be no more shared viewing experiences where people gather around the television to watch sporting events or key dramas like they used to?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think summer World Cup numbers show that people want to be around. They want the camaraderie of watching live sports. They want the camaraderie of watching their favorite drama or even their favorite sitcom together as a group. And what I think is one of the best things, that not only is it group oriented where people are coming together, they're going to their friend's house or maybe going to a bar, or even we had here in the DC area during the World Cup, there were these massive viewings. So they would just put up a big screen in the middle of a park and everyone could come out and experience that group viewing experience. But at the same time, hey, you can also sort of check out the scores of other games on your smartphone or your iPad. So I think it's a combination of everything. We want it now, but you also love to be able to talk to your friend. Yeah, you could tweet out a commentary about a program, but it's also nothing's going to replace just sitting next to and laughing with your friends and your family about a television show or an experience.
That was Imani Cheers from George Washington University. Phil.
It's just fascinating stuff how things have changed so fast in just a few years. We wouldn't have this conversation just a short while ago. Excellent stuff, Owen. Thank you.